How's it going, everyone? This is Epic Meat, and before I start the main point of today's discussion, I just want to say a very quick Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Hopefully you are having a nice start to the holiday and being out with friends, family, and everything. And at the time of this video going up, the Thanksgiving Day Parade is underway. Looking forward to seeing Chase up once again for the 6th consecutive year. I hope one of these days we'll get a different pup to be in the parade, as a balloon, either Marshall or Sky, would be my picks, no offense to Chase at all. Not only Paw Patrol, but Bluey as well, making her first appearance in the parade. I really don't watch the parade as much as I used to, but I'm going to just for this occasion. Anyway, on to the actual topic of discussion, that being Rubble and crew. On Monday, a few promos, including our first full clip, were revealed for the show, and been making the rounds over the internet as of the last few days. So much so that sites such as People.com and Comic Book, to name a few, have posted articles regarding the spinoff. And in these, it reveals new details, character descriptions, names, a release date, and so much more. We'll be covering all that in today's vid. As always, let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are regarding these promos and info for the spinoff. With that said, let's roll right into it. Just a note, these articles I'll be using for this vid are from People.com and Just Jared Jr. Both of these were retweeted by Paw Patrol's Twitter account, so I assume they are reliable. First off the agenda, we have a confirmed release date for this spinoff, and it will premiere on February 3rd, 2023 at 11:30 EST in the US first, not Canada, at least as of right now. Canada, if you aren't up to speed, has the majority of the episodes air first before the US. This spinoff is airing a little earlier than what I was expecting. Thought that it was going to drop in spring like the Investor Days presentation stated before, maybe around March, April, or May. But for those of you who are planning to watch it, you won't have to wait long, as initially expected. Next up is the synopsis, and I've been waiting for a while for this to drop, so here it is. The 26th episode first season will follow Rubble and his pup family as they go on high-stake adventures. The pups will use awesome construction vehicles to build and repair things in the town of Builder Cove, a brand new location for the spinoff. A growing area in Paw Patrol's Adventure Bay that needs plenty of help from Rubble and his construction crew. Rubble and crew's new characters, which I will get to later, will work together to attack and build all the projects the town needs, including a bigger airport, train station, bridges, tunnels, schools, fire station, parks, and more. Sounds similar to a Bob the Builder plot, which if you like that series, I think you'll like this one as well. And as you saw with the synopsis, this spinoff will have 26 episodes, which is the same amount overall that Paw Patrol gets in a season. Still, there are a few points that need to be addressed. First of all, are these episodes going to be 22-minute episodes, or is it going to be what we see in the TV series with a blend of 11-minute segment episodes and the occasional 22-minute episodes? I would like it to be 22 minutes, the longer the better, but I wouldn't be surprised if we could end up getting what the series does. Another thing to note is that this is the spinoff's first season, which could mean that we might get more than one season of this spinoff if everything goes well for it, merch-wise, and if it earns Spin Master & Co. a good amount of profit, that they see no reason to stop something that is working well for them already, which could lead to a second season or more. I'd rather just have one season and do another spin-off on one of the other pups. I probably would be burned out by the time the first season reaches its conclusion and try to move on to something else, but we haven't seen that much footage from the series yet and how the episodes will play out, and how the development of the characters will go. So if I were to make a decision on the future of this show, I would just settle for one season for now, for the Rubble and Crew spinoff. Also, it states the Paw Patrol characters that kids know and love will also be stopping into Builder's Cove to lend a helping hand to Rubble and his family. Shouldn't it say Paw 2? Because it seems like from that, the other 5 pups, maybe Everest and Tracker as well, will be assisting in select episodes. Not all of them, but some, and it could include other Adventure Bay residents, like, say, Mayor Goodway and Captain Turbot, to name a few. Alright, now let's get to the actual clip from presumably the first episode. So we see Rubble gathering preparations to build this park center structure. I don't know the proper term for it. Anyway, it's conveniently close to the lookout tower when we then see Ryder arrive onto the site, and I'll just let this shot explain itself. I really don't know how to describe this, but I can say that Ryder looks really cursed in this. Honestly, it makes Wildcat's new design look like a masterpiece. Why didn't they just use his Season 8 and 9 model instead of this? At least for the face, it looks So much better, the Season 8 and 9 model than this. The one thing I'm thankful for is that we don't have to see this guy's face for the majority of the spinoff. At least I hope so. I'm honestly, just because of this, I'm really concerned of how the pups and the other Adventure Bay citizens in general will look in the new art style. I'm not prepared for that. Anyway, on a more positive note, can we just appreciate this shot right here? Because it seems like the movie's art style, but downgraded a bit to fit the style of the TV series. And the background scenery looks nice, and it's one of my favorite aspects of the spinoff so far. Afterwards, Rubble's family arrives, and we do have names for the characters as well as a brief description for each. Let's start with Grandpa Gravel, presumably the eldest out of the group. He is Rubble's grandpa, as I said, and the family kibble chef who supplies the team with snacks from his tasty food truck. Not what I was expecting his tanker to contain. I thought tankers only contained liquid products like milk, but alright. At least Rubble will be pleased about this for sure. Next up, we have Auntie Crane. Crane is Rubble's auntie who runs the supply warehouse and makes sure all the pups are loaded up and ready to build. I was really hoping these two would be his mother and father, but sadly they aren't, which I should have expected because we don't really get that many characters in the series that are mothers or fathers. It's always uncles, aunts, and grandparents most of the time. Next up, we have Mix, the one bulldog we saw in the Investor Days presentation a few months back. I rather call her Mixer because it's easier to say. Anyway, Mix is a construction chemist handling all things concrete, glue, cement, and custom paints. We did see this a bit in the promo. Moving on, we have Charger, the other bulldog from the presentation. He is a big energy pup, especially when he gets the case of the zoomies, who is kind and always eager to help out or dig into a new construction project. Zoomies, for those who don't know, are caused by a buildup of excess energy, basically when they feel excited, in shorter terms. Interesting. Next up, we have Wheeler, who's the clean machine for this Builder Cove team, who does not like to get dirty and bolts away to clean up every mess. Not an exact comparison, but I sort of compare him to Rocky in a way where Rocky doesn't want to get wet, and Wheeler is almost the same thing, just doesn't want to get dirty. And finally, we have Motor, the tiniest and youngest pup, who is a valuable member of the construction crew and looking for ways to be a good helper with their power smash it energy. I find it funny how they give the youngest and smallest pup in the crew the most destructive piece of equipment, a wrecking ball. And also they gave her his hammer as well, so neat, I guess. Those four that I just mentioned are all cousins to Rubble. I was thinking, like, Motor would be like Rubble's little sister or something, but I guess not. And not sure how Wheeler is a cousin when he's not a bulldog, so I don't know. Anyways, so far my favorites out of this are Wheeler and Auntie Crane. I can't really say much for the other four. They haven't really done that much for me to make a verdict on them. Potentially I'll make a vid on this series once it drops, ranking all 6 members of Rubble's family. As for the voice acting, it's not bad. I do like Auntie Crane and Grandpa Gravel's voices. The others are alright, except for Charger. I was a little bit irritated by it. I was hoping for them to have their own personality when it came to their voices, but I didn't see much of that in this clip. Skipping over to the end of this clip, Ryder gets a call from Mayor Goodway, who compared to Ryder doesn't really look that bad, but I still think her Season 8 and 9 model would have been better. She then introduces them to her sister. Yes, Mayor Goodway has a sister now. This series just loves to explain on family trees and such. Her name is Mayor, wait for it, Greatway. Wow, how original. Not surprising that they would pull that name out of their bags of names they haven't used yet. Anyway, Mayor Greatway is Adventure Bay Mayor Goodway's sister, a motorcycle-riding, bubbly bundle of friendliness, and her pet, Mr. Ducky Doo. Guess this whole pet ordeal is a sister thing, I suppose, because Goodway is Chickaletta and Greatway is Ducky Doo. Also, she is the mayor of Builder Cove. Let's see if she's as great as her name implies to be compared to Goodway as a mayor. There's also one more character that I want to mention about, and that is the antagonist for the spinoff named Speedmeister. I think Speedy Meister would be more of a fitting name, or the Speedmeister. Anyway, Speedmeister runs the rival construction company in town along with his slow-moving villainous sidekick, Mr. McTurtle. Together they build fast and sorta good. What is it with villains having companions recently? First Busby with Sweetie, then McSquidly with Moby, and now this. I'm surprised he's able to have a consistent building tempo when you have a turtle as your partner, which is the exact opposite of being fast, and her name is literally called Speedmeister. One more thing I want to note about Mr. Speedmeister is he a human or a pup? Because the info that we got here doesn't really provide that much into him in that category. So we get more questions, but less answers. Great. So that's it for the promos and clips, but there's one last thing I want to touch base on, and that is this right here. So an official account was made for the Rubble spin-off series, presumably called Rubble Official. It's legit because it has the check mark right next to the name. But if you look at the uploaded vid, you'll see that it goes back to 2017 as to when the oldest vid was uploaded. However, this account was created on July 27th, 2022, and it only has around 20,000 subscribers compared to 100 million total views. You would think that an account with this many total views would have more subscribers, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Also, it seems like they transferred most of the videos over the years revolving around Rubble from the Nick Jr. channel over to this one. Some still remain on the original Nick Jr. YouTube account. The Best of Rubble is an obvious one, as the ones on Chase, Marshall, and Sky are still on Nick Jr.'s account, while Rubble's is now over here. I do hope in the future we get more accounts like Rubble's that features the other pups as well. So that's all I got for you today. Again, let me know down below what you thought about the clips and promos and what you think of Rubble's family so far. With that said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all again next time.